Hello, my name is Bogdan, founder of the famous clothes company Hemp, which produces high quality hemp clothes. Before creating my company, I often had to produce some documents in order to apply for a job or just communicate with people who could potentially become my boss. It often became complicated to do these documents since they took a lot of time to prepare and perfect so that I give the best image of myself to other people that could read these documents. These days, I realized that I could have made my job easier by just exploring Word a bit more and looking into everything that I can do with it. Since not everyone has the time and motivation to do that, I decided to show you in this video what documents you can do in Word and how you can do them easier than you would have expected. Firstly, something you can do which is useful is the multi-page document. What is a multi-page document? A multi-page document is a document that, as it is called, has many pages. It's the base of creating any document. Usually, when creating a document, you might want a template so that the document doesn't look like words on a blank sheet and sometimes appears to be boring. That is why you can always choose that in the Insert tab, right to the left, where it's written cover page. This way, you can choose a template for the document to look less boring and mundane. Then, you can start typing and filling each section like the name and document and in the document and the name of the company or organization that you are working for, and much more. Don't forget that you can change the heading to have titles and subtitles in your document, which might make it easier for you to find yourself in said document. Bullet lists also make the whole document more readable than having a whole chunk of text, so try to put bullet points at times where you can. One last thing about the document to keep in mind is that making your tables more appealing to the eye will usually make your reader want to look at the information that it contains some more, so try making them interesting, either by changing the style, color, the sense of the text, or any function you could think of. The second type of document that can be a pain to do and keep clean sometimes is the resume. Any place you want to work to will require you to hand in a resume. Of course, the resume reflects what the person is like in real life. So you have to make your resume look as professional as you can and make it be as clean as possible. This can make things complicated, since writing and keeping the document interesting visually, all while keeping it clean, can be a nightmare. But something that most people are quick to overlook is the fact that once again, Word has you covered. When you go in the Files tab and click on the New tab, the New tab, type Resume, and you can find plenty of templates to use, and you can choose from there a template for your resume. The advantage with that is that Word will tell you what to put and where to put them, so the document remains clean, professional, and not too boring. From there, remember to change the color of your text sometimes to make the document seem fresher and fuller of life. Once you're done, you can save it in many formats, one of these being the PDF format, which is recommended if you send your resume online, since it cannot be edited by whoever receives it. Then, there is the mail letter. There will be a lot of cases where you will have to send a mail to one or multiple people to either respond to their demand for a job offer or simply to ask something to an employer. So it is very useful to know how to make a mail that gives off a good impression of you. Also, Word made it easier for when you have to write a mail to many people, but intend to say similar things with Mail Merge. Mail Merge is what allows you to have a template for each of the mails you want to send, and that only changes a few words depending on who you send the mail to. You can start the Mail Merge by going in the Mailing tab and selecting the step-by-step Mail Merge wizard. From there, simply follow the instructions given and you should be able to complete the Mail Merge. Don't forget that when typing, if there is a word that varies from sender to sender, like their name, you have to mention it to the mail merger by replacing the word with a variable word, simply by going in the Mailings tab, choosing Insert, Merged field, and then choosing what the word represents, so that word signifies that the word you're looking to insert is a variable of a certain category of words you have entered previously with the mail merge. Finally, there is the newsletter. Now, many may ask, why a newsletter? What is the use in knowing how to do a newsletter? The answer is simple. In many cases, the newsletters are used to make announcements or to inform people about things, and your workplace might need you sometimes to know how to do announcement to your colleagues. It is for that reason that knowing how to do a newsletter can be a useful skill. And in the worst case, knowing that just helps you further in the mastery of Word as a program, so you will be able to say that you are very at ease with Word in your resume or doing an interview. Anyway, the usual template for a newsletter is pretty simple. First, you introduce a title on top that has color and special effects to catch people's attention. A newsletter is there to inform people passing by it of some information, and if it never catches the eye of the people, the newsletter is useless, since it does not convey any information to the target public. In order to achieve that, start by writing a title, then select the Format tab and change the color and effect to your liking to make the title more appealing. Then click after your title, press Enter in order to go to a lower line. Go in the Home tab and choose the Borders button to make a line that separates your title from the rest of the article. It is also from there that you will be able to add a border for your document to decorate it and catch the eye of the reader. Add some images, graphs, or some boxes if you wish to enhance the visual aspect of the newsletter. Write a title for the article, separate the text. You will write into 3 columns, type or copy the text from another document, and voila, add a border, and you now have a good newsletter. Considering you know all of that, producing any of the articles that I have mentioned won't be a difficult task, and it won't be as bad as starting a document from scratch. An easy example of that is that usually it can be a pain to have to do a letter to a person, only to have to rewrite the same thing to someone else. Just recopying what you said can lead to errors like not addressing the right person, field, or simply not addressing the person by the right pronoun. This type of error can be fatal and cost you a job position, which can suck quite a lot, especially since sometimes this position can offer a great salary and good conditions. By using the tricks I showed you, you will avoid doing such mistakes and ease the tasks you have to do. Not only does that make your job easier, but you also will have the opportunity to say that you are very at ease with Word in your resume, which a lot of bosses love to see, since more and more of the work is done on computers. You're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. But my final warning is to be careful with those tricks, because sometimes if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you will have done something that you don't understand, and it might ruin your document. So always pay attention to what you're doing while working on the Word document. Thank you for listening.